I was talking to one of my friends who's actually into fighting games, and they were saying that to register for a low, like a very mid-size fighting game comp, to do like a few events, it was like $100, and then spectators had to pay $60. There's stuff to do there outside of just the event, but that's where cubing is headed, bro. I want you to understand, and I tried to talk about this in my interview with Manu. There is going to be a cultural shift that the cubing community, I don't know if they're ready for. If you want money for the top level solvers, if you want these events like All-Stars that actually happen, you need to be comfortable paying $50 to $60 in order to actually attend the event and watch it, or else nothing else can happen. It starts at the bottom. It starts with people, grassroots, paying money in. And if you respect the top level competitors in your sport and you want to see them do well, you want to see them make a livelihood so that way you get better content and you want to see the sport grow and see people get better, you need to put up the money. It can't just be sponsorship funded. That's how we get better prize pools. And of course, we have to have, people from the parent company to be able to come in and like actually support the sport and whatnot. But you will eventually need to get comfortable paying $50 for a local if you care enough. If you want streams at every competition, you need to pay $50, $60, $70 maybe for a local if you want to be a competitor. And that's just how it's going to be. Bracket style cubing tournaments officially. Dude, I'm saying we actually need melee. When I was saying fighting game tournaments, we need fighting game tournaments, but for cubing. Not to say that we can't have like the traditional format that we know right now, but if you want to service your top level solvers, which if I'm being totally fair, you are not doing at all whatsoever. The only thing that you've done to service top level solvers is All-Stars, and NAC this year maybe a little bit more. If you want to service your top level solvers, you need to do things like All-Stars and like head-to-head tournaments, so that way you can put them on display and make cubing more viewership friendly. Because no hate, but no one wants to watch a 15-second solver do 3x3 because there are just better people out there. And I'm sorry for your 15-second solver. Like, I love you and I appreciate you, and you are the reason I'm able to do what I do, but you're not the product. You're not going forward. But you are the backbone of the community. No, I know, but I'm saying this is like 10 years, 15 years down the line. And I think that the WCA is in very capable hands with who's on the board right now. And yeah, if the WCA is dumb, then someone's going to come in and do it better. Like, what is stopping another organization from coming in and saying, oh yeah, we're the WCA now? If this new organization is forward thinking and can do everything better than the WCA is currently doing, who's to say that it's not legit? You can just do the ABA-NBA merger, and eventually you'll come to some middle ground of something that's better than what we have right now. Competition breeds innovation, and if the WCA is going to be stagnant, then someone's going to come in and do it better. That's what I'm saying, though. It's like, Elijah, if WCA is too slow, then someone will just come in and not be slow. A new body will come in and fill the demand for what's going on. Yeah, exactly. That I talked about this in my interview with Manu, but like cubing is in such a weird spot right now where people at the top level are working full-time jobs or cubing is their full-time job. And that should not be that big of a divide. But amongst the top solvers, there's never that big of a divide. If you look at chess, the top 20 are all making a living solely off chess. And while it's a very select amount, the only people making a living off cubing right now are like, as competitive cubers, are maybe like 4. How will they do that without resources? I think if you come in and who's to say that Mayernik or any other production company or anyone with resources couldn't just be like, I'm going to do this for cubing. And if you can invest in timers and, and wherever there's money, people will follow. If you are able to supply money for people to compete, which by the way, some random guy reached out to me. I never heard of him before. He told me that he's doing a Monkey League type deal, and he said there's money in it. You know what I said? I said, I don't care if this doesn't have a reputation. I don't care if this has never been talked about before. I'm going to do this because I want money through cubing, dude. I am one of the best in my sport, and I'm going to use that and make my money when I can. So wherever the money is where people are going to follow. So if you have money, which is the only resource you really need, and you can supply and you can partner with Happy Feet, which I'm sure Happy Feet does not care if they're locked into the WCA. They want to see cubing do better. So they could literally partner with any company. Literally, if Rubik's and Red Bull reached out to Happy Feet and said, hey, do what you did for the WCA, but for us, we'll pay you and like we can get a better event going, they would do it in a heartbeat. And I don't doubt that someone can crowdsource money for this. Because I think this is a growing need that people want. People want to see this happen in the community. And if the WCA doesn't adapt to this, then bye-bye WCA, dog. No, literally, we are in the 40s NBA right now. We do not have anything done. Cubing is so young, bro. Even Tetris has it more figured out than Cubing does. I think Cubing is getting bigger outside of its little sphere of influence, and that's all we need. I think All-Stars is the perfect way to, All-Stars is the future of cubing. And, sorry, not to say that we can't have the old formats, which is what I've been saying, but the product of cubing is the top level solvers, not in 2x2, not in whatever. It's 3x3, OH, maybe blind, maybe. To start, only 3x3, because you know it's digestible for people. I know the 3x3. You know what's not digestible for people? What's a Megaminx, bro? What's like watching 7x7? They'd have no context. It's not enjoyable enough. It needs to be promoting the best 3x3 solvers on a stage in a very easily watchable format. And All-Stars did a very good job of that. And it doesn't even need to be that. I think the future of cubing isn't even All-Stars. It's going to be a head-to-head double elim bracket like GAN SSL. We have the blueprint in front of us. We have the resources in front of us. We just need to be forward-thinking enough to do it. And we will see the money come in from sponsors. We're way too inclusive sometimes. Local comps are nice, but like Worlds, come on now. Yeah, no, literally. Like if I tell any non-cuber, yeah, I'm going to the North American Championship. You know what they say? They're like, oh my god, congrats. You know why? Because in no other sport is making the North American Championship so free. Like, just making it to the North American Championship should be an accomplishment. But it's not. And like, we can have different formats. We can have like the Open Championship, but you can have the North American Open, but it should be a separate comp from North American Championship. No. I know. I'm well aware we need to keep locals around, and I've been saying this as much as I can. We need locals because cubing should be inclusive. You know who we're not being inclusive to? Top level solvers. I am being discriminated against as a top level solver because I am not given like a platform to actually like make something out of this. You see what I'm saying? Like it disincentivizes me from being good because you know what I can do with cubing as like one of the top like 12, like number 11 in the world. What can I do with cubing? I make menial amounts of money through cubing. I make money through cubing because I coach, because I have to take things into my own hands. And that is very, very lame. If I was the 11th best chess player in the world, I would be making substantially more money. Imagine if you're the 11th best Smash player in the world, but you have to work full time. They do though, but like they get salaries from their companies because they're not locked into cubing, like to Smash exclusive people. Some of them are, but some of them get sponsorships from outside companies like Red Bull or any other energy drink, Celsius, whatever. It doesn't really matter. Like Amsa is sponsored by Red Bull, and he gets a salary from Red Bull, so that way he can play Smash full time and support Red Bull. If I did that for like Smoothie King or Subway or literally whatever, I could devote my full attention to cubing and coaching and like get better, and it would be better for everyone involved. It's only an accomplishment if the qualification is sub 6 or 7. We don't need like hard average quals. Like it should be a season. We should have seasons where it's like, hey, I got this many points this season, so I qualified for North American champs. Literally, the blueprint is fighting games, bro. The blueprint is fighting games. Like, we have NRG. It's just MoU. You see what I'm saying? Like, our teams are the manufacturers in that way. Like, we kind of already have it. So we don't need that. What we need is outside sponsors who view cubing as a viable means of getting their name out there and brand awareness and associating themselves with something cool and interesting and supporting like a person who's one of the best in their craft, because that is an accomplishment in of itself. But as it stands right now, if you're a middling top level solver, you get nothing for it. You get free cubes and maybe some type of reimbursement, and no one gets salaries except for the top tier.